How do you think he does against Tom?
To be honest, I think we are gonna finally have our first French UFC champion. I think Cyril. I've been talking with him. I have been taking more time with him this year than the past years, talking and training and yeah.
Ben Saunders believes Ciryl Gane is more prepared than ever, fueled by his hunger to finally claim the heavyweight crown. He says Gane's been laser-focused, avoiding the spotlight and quietly grinding in camp. Saunders calls Gane one of the best athletes in the division's history and is confident that over 5 rounds, Cyril's movement, precision, and composure will be enough to outclass Tom Aspinall. He expects a high-level tactical war, but in his eyes, Gane has everything it takes to leave with gold.
I think he's ready, and I think he has this fire inside him of wanting to become champion, working hard since a long time. He's not talking a lot this past month, but he has been doing a real good job, and he has been working hard, and I do believe he's an exceptional athlete, even for the heavyweight division. And on 5 rounds, I do believe he's gonna beat Tom Aspinall, and I cannot wait to see it, because of course it's gonna be tactical and very high level stuff, but I do believe Ciryl can do it, and he will.
MMA Guru, however, sees things very differently. He predicts that Tom Aspinall will knock out Ciryl Gane in the first round. He argues that if Tai Tuivasa could drop Gane despite being outmatched, a sharper, faster, and more technical striker like Aspinall could finish him even quicker.
The UFC is really back. The Aspinall versus Gane, scary matchup. I think Aspinall's going to win by KO in the first round. If Tai Tuivasa can ever drop you on your ass in an MMA fight after you've beaten him up for the whole first round, if he can find a way to find your chin in that second round and drop you at any point in your career, I think Aspinall will find it in the first round. And I do think we'll see a first round Tom Aspinall KO.
Guru also warns that a Gane victory could shock the MMA world, especially Jon Jones fans, who might suddenly start supporting Ciryl. But he still sides with Aspinall, explaining that while Gane's striking is world-class, his grappling gaps make him vulnerable to a complete fighter like Tom.
You know, if Ciryl Gane wins, my life will crumble before my very eyes. You understand this, right? We can't have Ciryl Gane win. There's going to be a conglomerate of MMA fans that are suspiciously pro-Gane here for no reason whatsoever. Okay? Now, these may be considered former Jon Jones fans that now have nowhere to go because Jones retired, that will now pretend to be Ciryl Gane fans and pretend to want Ciryl Gane to win for the good of the sport. I just think he's way better. Tom Aspinall's the correct prediction. It is a very risky matchup. Ciryl Gane is very, very technical. Ciryl Gane is harder to hit than any former opponent of Tom Aspinall. I just think his grappling is a weakness, and he'll be thinking about that in a fight with Tom. And while you're thinking about that, you've also got to think about being knocked out with any punch you get hit with. So it's just a lot for Gane to worry about.
Michael Bisping reacted to the fight announcement by praising Tom Aspinall's dominance over elite heavyweights while acknowledging Gane's unique challenge. He even compared both men to Georges St-Pierre, elite athletes who combine speed, skill, and intelligence. But Bisping reminded fans that Gane's ground weaknesses, exposed by Jon Jones, could resurface against someone as versatile as Aspinall.
Now, when you look at the UFC heavyweight rankings, as I say, Tom has beat most of them, and he's beat them in style, and he's knocked them all out. Curtis Blade, Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov, whoever they are, he's beaten them all up. But Ciryl Gane is a little bit different. Now, of course, Jon Jones beat Ciryl Gane in quick fashion, took him down in the first round, submitted him with a front choke. But Ciryl Gane is the same as Tom Aspinall in terms of athletic ability. When I say that Tom Aspinall is a heavyweight George St. Pierre, that kind of goes to Ciryl Gane as well. The man's gigantic. He's very quick. He's agile. He's light on his feet. He could run any sport on the planet. And he's almost like George St. Pierre and Tom Aspinall in the fact that he's got all those athletic attributes and qualities, but he doesn't have the grappling. That's what cost him against Jon Jones. And that's probably what's going to cost him against Tom Aspinall.
Bisping further called the matchup a high-risk, high-reward heavyweight showdown. He emphasized Tom's edge on the ground, noting that Aspinall has trained jiu-jitsu since he was 15 and would likely use that advantage if the fight goes to the mat. He added that Gane's striking once forced Francis Ngannou to wrestle, proof of how dangerous Ciryl really is, but ultimately, Bisping still leans toward Tom to win.
No, he could clip him. This is a dangerous fight. This is heavyweight MMA. But Tom Aspinall can grapple. We've seen him take people down. He's done jiu-jitsu since he was about 15 years old. His dad is going to be on his case, and that's an absolute fact, saying, hey, you're not messing with this guy. Take him down. Show him what you can do. Show the world your grappling capability. Remember, Ciryl Gane turned Francis Ngannou into a wrestler, okay? So he's a very, very credible threat on the feet. But of course, I do fancy Tom Aspinall to get the job done. The fact that he isn't fighting John Jones is insane, but we've talked about that till the cows come home, so I'm not going to bore you on that subject anymore. But just you wait. John Jones is probably going to pop up on Twitter. If he doesn't beat Ciryl Gane as fast as what John did, guaranteed we're going to get some tweets.
Henry Cejudo also weighed in, calling this fight a true test for Aspinall. He explained that Gane's rare blend of size, speed, and agility makes him a tougher puzzle than most realize. Cejudo said the matchup could even influence John Jones's future. Depending on how dominant Aspinall looks, it might determine whether Jones chooses to return for the heavyweight crown.
Even the one contender, Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane is somebody that's a big heavyweight, that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people. And I think that'll be a big indication if John Jones wants to come back and reclaim that bout once again.
Ariel Helwani took things a step further, saying if Alex Pereira were to somehow defeat John Jones and then Tom Aspinall, the GOAT debate would take a shocking new turn. He believes such victories would place Pereira's legacy on an entirely different level, one MMA has never seen before.
Right. If he fights John Jones and beats him,
yeah,
and then goes and fights Tom and beats him, you have to start talking about him being the greatest ever.
he's the GOAT if he does.
Period. There's like no discussion anymore.
No, there's no convo if he does that.
So it's right
Can you
there.
imagine?
He's got a 2-fight plan. And by the way, the money, I can't imagine what it's going to be. This guy was a few Magomed takedowns away on Saturday from like now us talking about him fighting, Mingyang Zhang next. You know what I mean? And now he has set himself up for 2 fights in 2026, potentially June and December, where he's on the verge of legit history.
That's it for today's video. Who do you think takes it, Ciryl Gane or Tom Aspinall? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates from the world of MMA.